President Obama's first to a war zone since taking office. A chance to hand out 10 medals of valor and fire up several hundred U.S. troops at one of Saddam Hussein's former palaces.
The main point I want to make is we have not forgotten what you've already done. We are grateful for what you will do. And as long as I'm in the White House, you are going to get the support that you need and the thanks that you deserve from a grateful nation. So, thank you very much, everybody.
The president told the troops the next 18 months will be critical, and they can't let their guard down, but said they're close to handing the mission off.
It is time for us to transition to the Iraqis. They need to take responsibility for their country and for their sovereignty.
The idea of an unscheduled stop was not a total surprise, though speculation here in Turkey focused on it being Afghanistan, since much of Mr. Obama's European tour focused on rallying support for his new strategy there. Aides said the president chose Iraq because the flight from Istanbul to Baghdad was just over 2 hours aboard Air Force One, and he wanted to express his gratitude in person. Mr. Obama huddled with General Ray Odierno, the commander charged with implementing the president's plan to remove all combat troops by August 2010. And he pushed Iraqi leaders to settle lingering political differences, such as how to distribute oil revenues.
We strongly support political steps to be taken to resolve differences between various factions within Iraq and to ensure a more peaceful and prosperous future.
Throughout his 8-day tour of Europe, the president said even though he opposed the war, he now believes it's his duty to end it responsibly. Wolf?
Ed Henry, thanks very much. Have a safe trip back to Washington. President Obama called the Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, expressing condolences and offering help to the Italian people devastated by a powerful earthquake. Today, a powerful aftershock sent rescuers scrambling from beneath some unstable rubble. The death toll has now climbed to far more than 200, and tens of thousands of people remain homeless. Stevemovie is joining us now from central Italy. You felt the aftershocks earlier today. It was pretty terrifying, I take it, Stevemovie.
Yes, it had a magnitude, Wolf, of 5.6, and it was felt as far away as Rome, which, of course, the earthquake which happened here on Monday morning in the early hours, which had a measurement of 6.4, was also felt in Rome. And I should say that within the last half hour, we've had two smaller but quite severe aftershocks, which really are keeping people literally awake, because those people who are able to stay in their homes cannot sleep with any degree of comfort with these aftershocks continuing to happen. And there are those who believe that these are more aftershocks than one might expect following an earthquake such as the one we had on Monday. I should say that I'm coming from a piazza in the middle of the town of L'Aquila, which was very severely hit by this earthquake. Behind me, there has now been built what's known as a tent city, 100 tents, 700 people living there. And these are people who really couldn't get out of town. They had nowhere else to go, and they didn't have friends and family that they could go and visit. And they don't know how long they're going to be here for, because they're not allowed back into their homes. And as long as these aftershocks continue to happen, and until their homes are deemed safe, they will be forced to live here on handouts, essentially.
There was some suggestion, Fadula, that some scientists had actually predicted this earthquake, but that the government sort of discounted all of that, and as a result, there was no warning given to the folks there. What do you know about it?
Well, there is some controversy about this. There is a geologist who said that he was predicting that an earthquake would happen. There are some that are saying he didn't predict it in the right region. He says he did. He says that he was told not to publicize these fears on the internet. The government say they don't really want to get into this at the moment. Silvio Berlusconi yesterday saying, let's discuss the predictability of earthquakes after we have rescued everybody that we can. And on that point, Silvio Berlusconi visited here today, the Italian Prime Minister, and he vowed to rebuild this particular town, saying he would find money from either Italian coffers, private individuals, and possibly the European Union, but also saying somewhat ominously that he expected the search and rescue operation to continue for another 48 hours only, saying after that he didn't expect any more people to be found alive. But a bright note in what is a very grim situation. 3 people were found in the rubble tonight from L'Aquila, and they are now in hospital.
Well, good luck to all the folks there. Fanula, thanks very much. And there are many relief organizations on the ground right now. They're actively helping victims of this earthquake in Italy. You can find links to many of those organizations on our Impact Your World page. That's at cnn.com/impact. If you want to help, that's what you should do. The Vice President of the United States takes questions from iReporter.
To what extent would you say that President Obama is capitalizing on your foreign policy experience now to drive the foreign policy agenda?
Vice President Biden answering our questions and your questions. Plus, North Korea's rocket launch. Does Alaska's Governor Sarah Palin find it too close for comfort? Why she's warning right now against cuts in missile defense programs. And a plane stolen in Canada chased by U.S. fighter jets. Was the pilot trying to get shot down?